Hi, welcome back to the channel. I recently came across a video on a zap snare, and I thought it could be improved in quite a number of ways. And today we're going to try just that. In terms of inspiration for the sound, I'm looking at the one and only Simon Posford and the track LSD from Twisted. And I reiterate, this is not a one-for-one recreation, this is more a inspiration if you like. So the first thing to do, we can keep it on default shapes. Let's change this to a sine. This will definitely change in a moment. And then I'm going to assign envelope 4 to the coarse pitch. And the reason for choosing 4 is because envelope 1 is hard-coded to the master output, and then envelope 2 and 3 I want to keep spare for now. Let's go to our matrix here, change this to unipolar because we only want the modulation to go one way. Let's turn the sustain down, and also the decay, let's go around 300, 270 or something around there. And immediately you can hear what would be the basis of a kick drum. Now let's go to envelope 2 and we'll assign that to the level. Let's turn that up. Let's go around 80. And once again, we'll give that a bit of a shape. So sustain down, attack down to 0 also, and then decay. Let's go around 500 for now. Let's just skip back to envelope 4 and we'll turn down the attack there also. And while we're here, we may as well do the other ones as well so that they're all at 0 attack. Let's turn on the noise oscillator, and for envelope 3 we're going to use that on the level. Once again, sustain down, and let's give this a bit longer on the attack, so around 600, 700. It's obviously quite bright, so let's put a filter on. Let's put this on energy low 24, give it a bit of drive, and then we're going to attach envelope 2 to the cutoff. Let's make that unipolar also. Ensure that it's on the noise oscillator as well as wavetable A. So there we have the foundations of the sound essentially. Let's turn random down because we never really want that. And then for the wavetable, let's choose one of the square waves because I want a bit of movement, and we're going to do that via pulse width modulation. Let's give it some unison. Let's go around 5, and then we'll turn detune down because I don't really want the width. We just want the voices. Now let's go to LFO 1. Let's drag that onto the warp mode, and we're going to choose pulse width modulation. But we obviously want that to follow the kick. So let's choose envelope in LFO 1, drag this across like so, and give it a bit of a shape like that. And then we'll change this to 1/8 because we know our snare is going to be around the 1/16 to 1/8 duration. So that's sounding quite good. It's basically what I'm after. But let's just try and change this square. We'll have a look in basic shapes. Let's keep that. I like the sound of the wider pulse width. And down a couple octaves. So I think that's sounding quite good. Definitely getting there. And now let's go to the effects section. My init preset has the EQ already here. Let's leave that for now, but we're going to add a delay. We'll link them 2 milliseconds on, and we're going to use quite a short delay. Mix up, let's go 50. Just apply it to the high frequencies. Feedback up quite a bit as well. And now let's have a look at our delay time calculator. I'll put an image on the screen, but this is also very easy to find online. And the track that I'm going to be making is in D sharp. So let's find the one in D sharp. And in this case, it is 51.41 milliseconds. We can turn that EQ on now. Take out quite a bit of the low end. I'll probably put that on a macro later. And then we'll add a compressor at the start just to bring everything up. We'll put this on multiband mode. We have LFO4 modulating the pitch of oscillator A. Let's also do the same for the noise oscillator. Needs to be unipolar, obviously. We're missing a reverb, so let's put that on. Let's go with one of the new types in Reverb. Let's go with the vintage. It's obviously up quite a bit. I'll come back to that. The pre-delay, let's also align that to tempo. So basically half of 51 is going to be what's at 25.7. So we'll just hard code that in, 25.7. Then let's go to LFO2. We will turn the output level of the reverb down and we'll assign LFO2 to the output. And you'll notice this goes all the way to maximum, which is quite annoying. So let's turn this down around there perhaps. And then we will draw in a shape. So essentially what we're doing is we're creating a gated reverb. So at the end of this cycle, the output of the reverb is going to drop, thereby creating that gated reverb effect. There, for example. I'm going to put that here. Let's make it a bit more like so. Actually, let's do it here, and then I will put this on a macro, so it's variable. So modulate x-axis with LFO bus 1, and then we'll put that on macro. Doesn't really matter. Let's go with 4, and then here also modulation x LFO bus 1. Now you can see because this little node and this little node are in different points, the second one is basically falling off the page. So we need to change the depth of that. I'm just going to sort to sort. Let's drop this back. So it's around there, but we can obviously work out that if this node is in this point, then the maximum depth is going to be 25%. Okay, let's just move this back here, a bit more like so. I think we can even make that range a bit wider as well. And quite clearly, the mix is up too high, so let's turn that down. Not much, maybe around 14%. Let's also attach the noise level to macro 3. Let's give it a kick now. Some bass. And let's bring in all the rest as well, with a bit of everyone's favorite, the 303 on top. So there we go, my take on the Zap Snare Hallucinogen style. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.